Okay. Hello, everyone.
The
We're
audio.
just going to give, pretty good. Going to give a few more minutes for all of us to really get in here. Nice background.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Let's see here. Let's see. Cool. If more folks trickle in as we get started, we'll go ahead and
Should we wait for give a few minutes?
okay. Tony's view. Complete screen. Okay. Let's see here. So we have about how many are in here? Hmm. No Amanda. All right. So I think we'll go ahead and get started. So hello everyone. My name is Alejandro Higuera. So for today's equal opportunity to speak. So as far as what's to expect today, each candidate can expect to speak for about 3 minutes just to introduce themselves and to really, this whole forum is really for us, the community, to get to know you a little bit better. And I know because of COVID-19, we're having to really explore different technologies and ways of doing things. So for those of you that are able to join today, I thank you. Just being flexible. We
Did our host freeze?
Hello?
Difficulty.
Hello,
Hi.
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, Alex froze. He'll unfreeze. Hey, Alex froze.
I froze. Sorry.
Okay.
Technology. Let me see. Sorry about that. It looks like I froze. Did everyone?
Uh-oh. Froze again, Alex. I'll just go ahead and take over really quick while he unfreezes. I put everybody on mute because there was a little bit of background noise. Hey again, Alex. So we just wanted to welcome everybody today. Thank you for being patient while we tried to get everything set up. Technology isn't always very predictable, so we really appreciate you taking your time to be with us today. The purpose of today is to, as Alex was saying, is to give people a chance to introduce themselves. There are quite a few candidates on the list, and so we really wanted to give everybody a chance to get to see everybody. And we've been searching through like detectives on Facebook trying to find everybody. So if there are people here today who you notice aren't here, feel free to let them know to check their Facebook inboxes, or to I'll contact other people to try and figure that out. Let them know that there's people looking for them, that we're trying to get everybody involved. So with that, as Alex was saying, today the purpose is introduction. So we're hoping to give everybody at least 3 minutes to kind of introduce themselves, your name, where you're from, things like that, your platform maybe that you might want to say that fits within 3 minutes. And so the other pieces of the forum are including question and answer sessions that we are planning out right now. There'll be 4 question and answer sessions starting next week. So there'll be on Monday and Wednesday from 6 to 7:30. And so the first one will be Monday, May 4th, the second one, Wednesday, May 6th, and we'll have all this information up on the Yaqui Community News page. Monday, May 11th and Wednesday, May 13th. We'll be taking questions from the Facebook we are really encouraging people today to comment on the live stream Facebook, any questions that you may have for candidates for the upcoming forums. And then also we'll be taking a look at some of the other posts that have a lot of questions on them. And so with that, we were asking Woody, let me see, Mr. Jose Fuentes, if you'd be able to give us a blessing for today.
I'll be glad to do that. All right, with your permission, start with a little prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Primeramente le damos la gracia a nuestro Señor Jesucristo, así también la Santísima Virgen María, los ángeles apóstoles, y así también el ángel de la guardia que nos cuida durante la noche hasta el alba del amanecer. Aquí llegamos bien con los corazones, pidiéndole gracias a nuestro Señor Jesucristo, que nos bendiga este día, que llegamos bien aquí entre todos para platicar y hablar y introducirnos para qué estamos aquí. Y así con estas pocas palabras, primeramente, un Padre nuestro, una Santa Ave María, Padre, el Hijo, el Espíritu Santo. Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Véganos, Señor, su reino, hágase, Señor, su voluntad, así en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día y perdona nuestras ofensas, como nosotros así perdonamos a los que nos ofenden. No hagas caer en la tentación, mas líbranos de todo mal. Amén. Gloria al Padre, el Hijo, el Espíritu Santo. Amen. A blessing to everyone here. Thank you for giving me this privilege of your time. Just to say a little blessing for everybody, and that although we're fighting this COVID-19 and we're forced to use this platform, which is great because it's my first rodeo, I want to thank God for bringing us all together here. In our God's prayer that I just said, our fathers and our Hail Marys, we thank you, God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Dios Gracias.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alex, did you want to add anything?
No, well, just a couple things actually. So tonight's forum is brought to you by the Yaqui Community News platform, but this is a student-led forum. The Yaqui Student Alliance group at the University of Arizona, but also we've had students from ASU, Pima, and also the University of North Dakota be parts of really bringing all these candidates together. So we kind of been in contact through Facebook messages and previous Zoom meetings to really bring you all together. So it's been a collaboration of, students from around the nation, not just the state of Arizona. So that's been really nice to, spread our connections there. But just a reminder for the introductions, it's going to be maxed at 3 minutes just to allow enough time for everyone to speak. So we'll definitely, ding you, when it gets close to that 3 minute mark. But we don't want to, but if you do go beyond 3 minutes, we might have to mute you. Which we don't want to do, but I know 3 minutes isn't a lot of time, but that's basically the rule. But yeah.
Okay, should we go ahead and get started?
Yes. Okay, I believe we're going to go on the list in the order that the list is, format, just kind of following, the list and just going that way.
So number 1, we have Catalina Alvarez. Not sure if she's here.
Is she available? Let me see.
Let's see. I don't think she's on right now.
Who's next?
So next we have Magdaleno Alvarez Jr. See him here.
No.
Then we have Michael Alvarez. Oh, all right. And Laura Andrade. All right. Eugenio Baltazar. Cesar Buenamea. Mary Jane Buenamea. Let's see. Antonia Campoy. Go ahead.
My name is Antonia Campoy. Most of my family calls me Tony, and the community of Guadalupe and everybody else knows me by Tony. It's a pleasure to be here with you this afternoon. I was born in La Cuarenta in Guadalupe. I'm a lifelong resident in Guadalupe. I still live in La Cuarenta, and it's a pleasure to be there. And I'm going to start saying that I was the coordinator for our special Head Start Yaqui project. It was to develop a curriculum to teach our Head Start students, and that program was recognized nationally. So I did that, and then my next job was to work for 40 years for the Tempe Elementary School District under the Native American program. I did that for 40 years, and while I was still employed with Tempe Elementary, on weekends, on Saturdays, for 17 years, I had to South Mountain Community teaching Yaqui history and culture for 17 years. After that, I've been involved in the community throughout my life for 40 years, working with the Scottsdale Catholic Church, trying to provide assistance and support for families in Guadalupe, and I continue to do that for 40 years and plus, and I look forward to that every year. And I've been a member of the Guadalupe Lions Club, and we were able to service all community members with eyeglasses if they needed them. So that's what I did with the Guadalupe Lions Club. And I also served on the Guadalupe Cultural Yaqui Organization, better known as GAICO. And that we were there, I was there for 4 years. And I've been involved in educational committees throughout my life, and I hope to continue my service because I am a service person. So it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony. Okay, who's our next? I was going to say contestant, but candidate?
Next, we have Jose Raul Cancio. Okay. Then next, we have Vanessa Cruz. Great. Next, we have Leonard De Leon. And we also have John Escalante. Lourdes Escalante.
Oh.
Come on
I have
down.
been unmuted. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yes.
Awesome. Dios en Chimañaba a todos. Good evening. My name is Lourdes, and thank you, Ms. Campoy, for that introduction, and thank you to Woody for that blessing that he gave us in the beginning. So I'm Lourdes. I grew up here in Barrio Libre in South Tucson. I am the mother of James Reyes, and my parents are Christina Childs and Frank Moreno. My dad wasn't my biological father, but he was part of the community. He was a musico here in South Tucson, and he played the accordion. So a lot of the elders know him from his musical talents. Other than that, trying to do this off the top of my head. So as far as what I want to do in council, it's mostly what drives me to run for tribal council is the fact that that's the whole reason why I even got my bachelor's degree in the first place. So I got my bachelor's degree in political science and in American Indian studies. So when I studied American Indian studies, I did this cross between American politics and tribal politics, and I learned about indigenous governance and how tribal sovereignty operates and its pitfalls and how it needs to adapt, because it is we are definitely a very unique nation compared to the Midwest and Eastern tribes that have been colonized differently. So we have a very unique relationship here in the US, especially in Mexico. So we are a binational nation. So keeping that in mind, just really quick, some of the really important values that I have been thinking about lately in terms of, okay, how will I apply these beliefs into my policy making? So one thing that I'm definitely advocating for is bringing the money back into the tribe. So any economic decision that we make needs to ensure that the money will be coming back. Not so much outsourcing, because now that we're dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, unfortunately, we may either be losing vendors, we may be losing businesses that may have fallen under, and now we need to start, creating that economic infrastructure all over again. So that's one value, and I can talk all day about it because there's a lot of other tribes that have been very successful with their own economic diversification. So with that in mind, I'm also advocating for farming, traditional indigenous Yaqui farming, so that we can create a better system of food sovereignty within the tribe. And that's not just because, farming is our history, it's also part of our DNA. It's part of our biology. It's going to help improve the issue of diabetes. So I came up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's totally fine. I can keep talking all day. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Fidelia Armenta Flores. Going through. All right. Next, we have Mateo Flores Jr. Okay. Next, we have Roberto Leandro Flores.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hello. You can hear me?
Yes. Oh, there you are. Okay. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I don't know how to flip the phone around. Lyosin Chanyabo, Achalim Malam Angelito, Sime Yutaftia. Primeramente, con permiso, soy Roberto Flores. My grandmother was Isabel Sanchez Flores, and my grandfather was Marcelino Sanchez Matus Flores, and my mom is, everybody knows her as Shorty, Cecilia Flores. I grew up in Old Pascua. So I'm running for council because I've been doing a lot of things on my own, right, for a long time. I've been doing community awareness. I've done carnivals, trips with Yaqui High School. I sponsor pretty much a lot of the group homes here in the outlying Tucson area, as well as Phoenix, Sunshine Group Home, Gap Ministries, Vision Quest, La Paloma, La Frontera, you name it. I've taken tons of kids to a lot of games. And those kids are less fortunate and have less amount of funding that provides kind of that kind of stuff. So I took it upon myself working in the group homes and and in this field for about 27 years. I'm officially retired. I know I look young or whatever, but I'm officially retired. I have my own business that I do yet still, and I provide trips, and I do a lot of cultural arts. And so my main theme is that I wanted to be in a position where I can amplify even more so some of these programs. I also was a case manager for Pascua at the Methadone Clinic, and I started an IOP program in the vacuum house, which a lot of people didn't know how to utilize the system, right? They didn't know how to utilize the access billing codes and whatnot. So everybody wanted to do these trips to take kids and adults to California, right? And so I said, hey, let me formulate this into a retreat mode, and I can bill 5 times for each person. Anyways, I can get into all that. But anyways, for one person billing 5 times, it's like $3,000. I took 30 clients. The trip costed $44,000 that the tribe paid, and it's verifiable. You can check. I generated $144,000 on a 4-day trip profit. And so things like that, people don't utilize the system that we have and taking shortcuts. And it takes initiative, know-how, will, and desire. A lot of people just sit on their rumps, wish, no footwork, no leg work, and that's all it takes. So you have to be enthusiastic about what you do and very motivated. And I've been participating in our cultural. Estoy persinado de Chapayeca, ya tengo como 14 años. Entonces, I think that's important también. Y aprendiendo la language, knowing our language, our culture. If we don't produce and people aren't adequate speaking their language, we will lose our title as a tribe. So I think language, culture, and arts is a very foremost important thing. You can worry about the casino later. If a lot of people don't know the language, you can kiss your title goodbye. So that's my thing. It's restoration of existing, nice, great existing programs already. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Somehow, all you have to do is add your 2 cents if they need it, and pretty much enhance any kind of program they have now. Streamline, prototype, do all these other things. So those are my things. And I've been in the behavioral health field for about 27 years. I've been working at a Mexican security prison in Texas. I was director of Amity Foundation, Circle Tree Ranch here in Tucson, Arizona. And
Sorry, dinging at 3:30.
Excuse me?
You're at 3 minutes and almost 4 minutes.
How much time do I have left?
That was it. Only 3 minutes.
Okay, sorry about that.
Sorry. Trying to get in there. Thank you. Next, we have Herminia Frias. Oh, there we go.
Good afternoon, buenas tardes. Nepo Herminia Frias. Minnie, how is everybody doing today?
Great, thank you.
Good. First of all, thank you to Yaqui Community News for hosting this. I think it's really important that we have an opportunity to talk and to share to introduce ourselves, even if it's not enough time to share our platforms. I think it's really important that we do have an opportunity to introduce ourselves for those of you that don't know us. I am currently one of the tribal council members, and I have been serving here for this administration. My family is all from Tucson. We didn't grow up on the reservation. We grew up in Tucson, and we grew up right next to South Tucson. So we have a connection with New Pascua. We have a connection with Old Pascua. We have a connection with Guadalupe. But my dad is actually from Hightown. He was born up there, and our family is from Hermosillo and from Cerro de La Matanza. By the way, my dog is back there, so if you hear him barking, that's Petrie back there. So, but it really is important that that we do have these types of opportunities, and my platform is really about sustainability. It is about health and wellness. It is about housing. And when I talk about housing, it's about homes, you know, creating that environment for people to feel safe of where they live. And it's about public safety, and it is about youth development and leadership. And when I talk about sustainability, it really is about how do we think about the future and how do we plan for the future? And it's about development goals. So it can be a little bit of a concept for people to wrap around, but I'm doing my best to really break it down so it's not a difficult concept for people to understand, but it really is for planning for future generations. And all of these goals that we think about, what are we going to do for each other? What are we going to do for the Pascua Yaqui tribe? It's about sustainability. It's about going to our ancestral way of thinking. How do we conserve our resources, plan today for our needs, but at the same time, conserve our resources for the future? And that really is what my platform is about using our resources wisely and thinking about the future. So thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next candidate is Jose Fuentes.
Oh, okay. My name is Jose Fuentes. My nickname's Woody. I was born and raised in South Tucson. So I've been there for all my life until I started when I moved here in '97. I've been here in the New Pascua Reservation. And I've worked at the Casino del Sol for about 19 years. This year would be 20 years. Thank God for the casino, for the tribe, for giving me this opportunity to come back and work for the tribe. I'm advocating for education mostly. I remember when I was in high school and I got accepted as a scholarship. So that's how it all started. I got a associate degree in electronics engineering. I went to Pima. I got some classes, and it was through the Yaqui tribe that gave me that opportunity. So I'm really grateful. And that's what I want to do is continue that to advocate for education. As we all know, we have a lot of people that are going to college and they're getting higher education through the casino, even through the tribe side, and we want to continue that. The other part too is just sustaining, like Minnie was talking about, sustaining ourselves and keeping. And I always thank the previous tribal leaders that have taken us this far. And I would like to continue with their legacy and continue growing. And with new minds and new fresh minds, I'm sure that we can get there. There's a lot of us here that are running with great platforms. They have a lot of great ideas, and I'm there, willing to help out in whatever I can do and lend a voice. And with that, I don't want to take too much of your time, but I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to be with all of you through Zoom, through this platform, and reaching out to all of our Yaqui tribal members and non-Yaqui tribal members as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Alejandra Garcia. Then Arcadio Gastelum. And Lorenzo Green.
Hello?
Hello.
One moment.
All right.
Okay. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Can barely hear you. Can you guys hear him? All right.
Hello?
Yep, we can barely. Can you guys hear him? Just test it
Just
out.
a little.
Oh,
Now, can you guys hear me?
yes.
Yes.
Good.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lorenzo Green. I'm originally from Pasadena, California, so I wasn't born in Tucson, but I do have I've been staying in Tucson for about 14 years. So I actually was raised in Pasadena. I moved to New Bosco when I was like about 14. Um, no, but from yeah, so I did drop out of high school, but I did go back, receive my GED through the Bosco's classes. After I received my GED, I went to Pima Community College, studying. I majored in liberal arts for psychology. My whole goal is to actually become a psychiatrist and own my own practice. My platform is basically more towards building up the youth, because I'm aware of the pitfalls I fell through as a minor, and I understand like how to avoid those things now as an adult, and I'm actually able to communicate with the youth on their level. So a lot of youth do respect me and would hear the stuff I have to say to them, because I'm seen more as like a big brother instead of an adult figure telling them what to do with their lives. I mainly want to have my platform towards like it's towards the youth, but to have safe self sufficiency, be sustainable throughout the remaining years for Bosco. As far as like I want to actually create industries for Bosco as far as like renewable energy. We have plenty of space for solar panels, wind generators. If done properly, you can even have biodiesel, a biodiesel.
Ah,
Uh,
you're cutting out there.
you say time up?
No, I said you were
I'm sorry
cutting
about
out.
that.
Yeah. The second time.
I'm sorry about that. My main goal is to create revenue, but at the same time as we create this revenue for the tribe, to actually help improve the youth at the same process by bringing them into the process itself, so they can see how this stuff works, so future generations can see how this process goes. And on top of that, I'm a big advocate on creating generational wealth through land ownership, home ownership, mineral rights, sky rights, water rights, so that the future generation doesn't struggle as much, because their elders was able to sit there and pass something down to them through a lot of the stuff that she's already set up, through like life
Excuse me,
insurance policies and
Lorenzo?
yes.
All right. We're about at that 3 minute mark. I hate to cut you off, but yeah,
Okay,
we're gonna have to move on. Thank you though.
that's fine. Thank you.
Next, we have Gloria Alvarez Gomez. Okay, next, we have Teresita Gomez.
Hello, everyone. I'm Teresita Gomez, and a little bit about myself. I was born in Tucson. I wasn't raised here. I was actually raised in Chicago. So I think that that gives me a perspective of realizing how important our language and culture is, because I didn't grow up around it. I did move to Tucson when I was 15, so I've been here for about 20 years now. I'm the mother of 3 children, 2 girls and a boy, and they are one of the main reasons why I'm running. I also am running for all the communities and all members to be treated equal and to get services. Also for job security and protecting employees, especially right now from losing their jobs, dealing with the aftermaths and or going forward now with COVID-19. The other thing would be education, expanding our education so that we can help as many of our members as we can going to school. Building a Yaqui K through 12 so that our language and our culture can be taught and practiced. Let's see. Also, having affordable housing for people who are continuing their education and people who are doing job training or single parent households. That is something that's really important to people who are struggling either to better themselves, keep moving forward for their families, and being able to offer affordable housing would be something that would help them out a lot. That is really it. And thank you everyone for being here, for taking charge and being informed of your tribal council candidates. Again, thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Andrea Gonzalez. Oh, one moment, you're muted. All right.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I wanted to thank you all for hosting this event. You know, it's really important that we get information out to all the communities, and I understand that it's one of the barriers that our outside communities outside of Tucson or the reservation have. So thank you for putting this on. Again, my name is Andrea Gonzalez. My family, a little bit about my family. My parents are Luis and Sally Gonzalez. Both of my parents are from Guadalupe. I have 5 sisters, Grace Cannon, Sandy Gonzalez, and the twins, Celia and Francisca Gonzalez. Even though we're from Guadalupe, I was born there, and we moved down to New Pascua when I was 1. So I was raised here in Pascua, really both. You know, growing up, I spent, my summers were split between being in Guadalupe and also being here in Tucson. But I'm also a mother of 6 and a foster mother. I've been a foster parent since 2012, and I'm currently still fostering. Some of my background includes, my background is in education. I received my bachelor's in elementary education through ASU, taught for a couple years. When I moved back to Tucson, because I had been attending ASU, I was really, you know, wanting to come back to the community because I taught kindergarten, and I saw down in Gila River, and I saw that there was a really big need for our kids to be more prepared. So I came back. There wasn't a job available at our Head Start, and I ended up taking a job at GD, and that was very informative to me. I got to work with adults and work with adults who had left the traditional school setting because it didn't work for them, and a lot of those things, you know, because of discrimination, because they weren't being attended to, either because they needed more assistance or because they needed challenges. So most recently, I received my master's in curriculum instruction in early childhood education, and I am the teacher supervisor at our Head Start currently. Even though education is really important, it's my background, I want everyone to know that education also includes the education of our Yaqui language, culture, and traditions. That is very important. And I don't just say that. I've participated in language classes up in Guadalupe and also here down in Tucson. And I've also participated in the first Yaqui history class provided by Anabel Galindo and Robert Thayes from PCC. So Although education is really important to me, I do understand that there's a lot of other priorities, mainly accessibility to services in other communities. So I want you guys to know that Guadalupe, Hightown, Marana, Benjamo, everyone, Coolidge, you are not forgotten. And that's one of my main goals, if I'm able to, if you guys choose me to serve you, is to get more resources out there, hold community forums. Is that time?
Yeah, it's time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel so bad doing that all the time. The next candidate is Emilia Bule Gonzalez. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Could you speak? Oh, yes.
Okay. You can hear me. Everyone can hear me?
We're good.
Okay. Dios enchaniavu hapchim malam si me yan lautipo inikavichume. Dios tak ea po kaita humakemo ayuk yan lautipo. Ito wetana la kaita ito ayuk. Good evening. Hope all is well with you and your family. My name is Emilia Gonzalez, but first of all, I would like to thank you guys all for putting this together. I would also like to, thank the tribal council at this time, as well as our elders. If it wasn't for our elders, we wouldn't be here today. So in their name, I would like to, acknowledge them. Inepo Emilia Gonzalez, I currently work, am employed with the Pasco Yaqui tribe. I am a Yaqui language instructor through the education division. I currently teach in the public schools. We currently serve the Sunnyside High School and Choya High School. My platform today, actually, let me go back a little bit. My parents are Narciso and Fern Bule. We grew up in Barrio Libre. At the age of 10, we probably moved to Pascua here in New Pascua, and we've been here since. I have two brothers, Frank Clarkson and Jesus Bule. 3 sisters, Michelle Alvarez, Lucinda Bule, and Azucena Buanamea. I have 2 kids and I am married. My platform today, or this for my candidacy, is to focus on Yaqui language preservation and revitalization. However, if we, look back, at all these candidates, and, the goal is to bring back our language, our Yaqui values to the Yaqui people, everyone, and to take a good look at the future as to what our status will be for our future if we don't continue our language, our culture. Language is part of us ourselves as a Yaqui person. Other issues that I would like to address, if I am elected to serve on tribal council, is education needs, and just to incorporate more of the language to follow our kids, we need to bring back our kids. We have a lot of our youth that are so lost, in our community today. And, there's so much that I can talk about on education, on the language, but other also that I want to, issues that I want to address are health issues, housing issues, just with my past experiences as to what I've been through, what I've experienced just as a Yaqui community member. So that's something that I would like to address. And, not only that, but the transparency in tribal council and making
records of tribal council public, because I think it's very important that, I mean, I have many questions for tribal council today. And
Okay, excuse me. That's time. Thank you.
alrighty, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Julian Hernandez, who I think is fulfilling cultural duties tonight. So after that, we have Sonia Laventure. And then Augie Lopez.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Augustine Lopez. I go by Augie or Tilin, depending on what barrio I'm at. I grew up in Oak Pascua here in Tucson, Arizona, but at the age of 12, I was taken to New Pascua, where I grew up, actually in New Pascua. My parents are Rosa Ramona Sanchez. They call her Monchi. And my dad is Augustine Fernando Lopez Sr. He's from Cocori, Obregón, Sonora. My grandparents are Charles Sanchez and Anita Valencia Sanchez, Tucson, Old Pascua communities. Like I said, I was at age 12, I moved to New Pascua. For drug use. So I was actually put into the foster care system. So at 12 years old until 19 years old, I was raised in multiple homes. I jumped around from 5 different homes. So I was basically what I think, and I believe in my heart that I was raised by the community. So my family and extended family and my friends, they all raised me in the community. I'm currently retired. I'm retired from the U.S. Army as a sergeant. I did 2 years in Iraq, 2 combat tours in Iraq in 2004 and 2007. Also, I was a police officer with the Pascua Police Department in 1999. So I worked 5 years with the police department. I also did police dispatch work prior to that. And I was involved with the youth mentor program, the peer counselor program, and also the youth ministry program when I was a youth teenager. I also did work with the Pima Prevention Partnership as the chairman of the youth council back in 1990, I believe 93. So I do have an extended experience as far as youth, military, law enforcement experience background. Currently, I'm working on my degree. I should be receiving my Bachelor's of Fine Arts in June. I'm studying photography and sculpture. And I recently just got accepted with the University of Arizona Master's Program, where I'll be working on my art history and my freelance concept photography. Hoping one day that I can become a freelance photographer and hopefully make it back to Iraq where I can document, the cities and towns that we rebuilt back in 2004 as a soldier. The reason why I'm running is because, like I said, as a kid, I was raised by the community. I believe that the community raised me and helped me to be successful in everything that I've done so far. It's now time for me to give back. I want to be an example and a role model to the youth. I also want to be a model, person that comes out of this foster care system and is successful. Like
3. Sorry.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I think the next few we have are Angelina Valencia Matus, Lucas Matus. Oh, excuse me. Is somebody here? No. Okay. Juanita Buenamea Mezquita. Gabino Valenzuela Molina. Robert Montiel, Marcos Moreno, Richard Moreno. I feel like a teacher, like calling out attendance or something. Francisco Guadalupe Munoz, Elvira Armenta Osuna, Isabel Osuna. Yes. There we go. All right.
Can you guys hear me? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I pray that everyone is staying safe. And during these uncertain times, it's hard to do these kind of things. I'd rather do them in person, but this is also a good alternative. So thank you for offering it to us. My name is Isabel Osuna. People call me Izzy. I've worked for Casino del Sol for the past 15 years plus in the marketing department. I'm experienced specializing in database management. In my spare time, I do health and fitness. I'm a personal trainer and a fitness instructor. I've been doing that since 2012, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. I like doing it. It makes me feel good, and I feel like the community needs something like that. I come from the Osuna family. My mom and dad is Raul and Angelica Osuna. We lived in low-income housing growing up on the southwest side of Tucson, and I most identify with New Pascua Pueblo. That's where I feel like I grew up at, and that's where I feel like I recognize my tribal background. I am a product of Arizona Public Schools, and I obtained my bachelor's degree from the University of Arizona, specializing in math back in 2015 while working full-time at Casino del Sol. My initiatives that I'm actually running for is fundamental fitness, innovative education, and positive self-expression. Some of these things are hard to explain all at once, so I'll just go one by one. In terms of health and wellness, I believe the tribe could reach an understanding of fitness as fundamental. This does not mean that each tribal member becomes a fitness fanatic or that those who are athletic become gold medal winners. What it really means is that it's a basic fundamental fitness where each person takes responsibility for their own health and wellness. This becomes where they can get active on their own terms, in their own ways, and they can have fun doing it. Not everything is about winning first place. This is more about participating in large numbers and getting people active. In terms of innovative education, I believe the tribe could lean on school-age children more for creative ideas and solutions to real-world problems that the community faces every day, and that's in terms of planning and development. The children will learn more with hands-on projects, and we could all benefit from allowing them to be free in their creation based on what they learn. The last initiative that I'm running for is in terms of positive self-expression. I believe the tribe could continue to strive for a more modern lifestyle, still respecting our culture by incorporating our customs in everything that we do. This would create a sense of pride for our people and would also develop our own custom brand at the same time. We could use the knowledge that we gain to better our people, but make it our own by using art, music, and dancing, as well as other cultural customs that we do every single day.
Thank you, Izzy. That's the time.
Thank you. Next, we have Gabriel Otero. Oh. Oh, wait, we can't hear you.
Still can't hear you, Gabriel. No, you're on mute now.
No, can't hear you. Hmm. Come back to you. Okay. All right. So next we have Maria Paisano. And after that we have Pedro Rodriguez, Pete Rodriguez.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Pete Rodriguez. I'm from Eloy, Arizona. First and foremost, I want to thank you guys, all you guys, the candidates for running for tribal council, and especially you guys for putting the Zoom meeting together. You guys are doing an amazing job so far. But again, I'm from Eloy, Arizona. That's where I was born and raised. So shout out to all my people down there in Eloy, Casa Grande, Coolidge, Guadalupe, Yuma. Actually, I'm looking at the feed and looks like we're getting a lot of people from California, Fresno, all the way to the East Coast. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Again, my platform really quick, I have three major passions, which is health and wellness. The second one is education. And the last one is empowerment. So what I want to talk about first and expand a little bit, and also all this information is available on my Facebook page. So you can see all that, my bio. I have some videos on there as well. But the first one, health and wellness, I want to bring community gardening. I want to do some more to all the communities, little garden for them. I also want to do some Yaqui farming, Tortuga Ranch, bring back traditional farming, indigenous foods and medicine to the tribe for all the communities. And in education, I want to introduce some type of a education wraparound system, which helps a student all the way from preschool through grade school, high school, and beyond into college and beyond, and also offer more scholarships to those students to stay with the student throughout their educational endeavors. So I want to bring that to the tribe as well. And also a Yaqui Community College. I want to see that. I envision that having our own college in the future. And empowerment, I just want to empower our people to become successful entrepreneurship. I want to introduce microloans back into the tribe so people want to start their own businesses, our tribal members. I also want to introduce financial literacy classes. And when I talk about this, I mean all the communities. I want to have create more jobs. And I also want to have create job stability and security for the people that are currently working at the tribe and our casinos, and make sure they will have a job. It's going to be very difficult in the unforeseen future, what's coming with the whole COVID, things happening right now. And also empower our people, especially the women. The women are very important, so I want to make sure they have everything they need to succeed as well. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, my name is Pete. I'm very humbled to be here, and I'm very happy this format is working. I hope you guys enjoy it, and hopefully we can bring some more of this to you. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you. Gabriel, should we check with you one more time? Dang, can't hear you. Okay, we'll come back. Okay, next, Rene Gavino Romero. Patricia Martinez Ruiz. Let's see, Robert Sanchez. You're up.
Here. The teacher. So, hello everyone. Dios Centennial. Ina por Roberto Sanchez Tea. Hello everyone. My name is Robert Sanchez. Robert Clemente Espinosa Sanchez is my full name. My mother was Manuela Espinosa Yucupicio Sanchez, and then my father was Antonio Valencia Sanchez, known as Tony Sanchez, or as Psycho around the reservation. But my father was instrumental in bringing the Leo Esini Center to the Pascua Yaqui tribe here for our elders. My family, I have a big family related to a couple of these tribal council candidates, along with a couple of tribal council members. But my family, my mom's family came from Coolidge and moved to Guadalupe, Arizona, where she met her husband. And then well, she met her husband in the fields with my father here being here from Tucson, from Old Pascua. And of course, they were one of the first ones on the original 202 acres to get a housing here in the Pascua Yaqui Reservation. So I have family in probably all the pueblos, but yeah, unfortunately, what my uncle, my mom's brother, just passed away. So a lot of our family is with heavy hearts. So I want to commend them, and if they are listening, you know, we pray for all of our ancestors, our Itom Yoyowam that are in our heavens right now. And the God's glory looking down on us, you know, during this year of Lent, you know, I'm one of the capitanes here, Costumbre y Ahora Cristo Rey, Iglesia Cristo Rey. For the first time in a long time in our history, all the capitanes met during the 7 weeks from all the pueblos to discuss the COVID-19 issues that we were having and how each and every pueblo was handling that situation. I was glad to meet our cultural leadership throughout all the pueblos, but all of us were handling that in a difficult way with heavy hearts, not letting the people in. But that's just a little bit about me and then about my family. Like I said, we have a big family. So I pray for everyone to get through this COVID-19 and we can get back to normal soon, especially with the Yaqui people. But the reason why I'm running is because I want to help the Yaqui people. We've done a lot of good things with our tribe in our history, and I want to commend the current tribal council administration, you know, for doing their best with dealing with this COVID-19 issues. But
thank you. We're at that 3-minute mark, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Rafael Tapia Jr.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Buenas tardes, Rafael Tapia. First of all, feeling blessed to be here with all the other candidates that are on here. And I want to extend my condolences to some of you that have recently lost loved ones. I know how challenging that is. And so just know that I send my empathy to you. But the opportunity that I have, you know, in terms of running for tribal council, I based it on some background experience that I had formerly working in tribal politics. But my history goes back to when the PY Association was first organizing to establish the tribal council and the reservation, and that obviously everybody knows the history on that. I grew up in Old Pascua, and I had many of my relatives, including my mom, who was very young, and some of my relatives involved in those initiatives that led to the formation. And then for those of us that stayed in Old Pascua, obviously we're on a fee simple land. So my mom was very much an advocate for fighting for our rights there in Old Pascua, because I grew up with dirt floors and we have no paved streets. We didn't have lighting there in Old Pascua. We had the outhouse and kerosene lamps and the velas, you know, at night. And so I remember going to model city meetings with my mom, where they would meet with officials from the city of Tucson and others to bring infrastructure development to Old Pascua. And so my role in terms of supporting my community goes way back. And so and I've done that with my children. They've been involved in matters of the tribe. Most of you know that I worked for Robert Valencia's administration during his first term. And so how that happened is that I worked for the Pascua Yaqui tribe. I was in the interim director for social services during that time. And my job was program manager for substance abuse programs, the men's, women's path, the drug court program, and our transitional housing. And that's where my career had been, helping people get better and move on in their lives. But I got involved with the organization called Women Commission on Human Rights, and we ran a slate. 9 of our members ended up in council, and I didn't choose to be on there because my job, I preferred to work with the people at the capacity I was in, so I didn't choose to run at that point. I'm at a different point in my life where I'm wanting to continue to contribute to the goals of the Pascua Yaqui tribe and the well-being of the people. And if you've seen my platform, I do focus on a community engagement piece. I have a very specific plan that I put out. Some of this I worked on while I was there at the Pascua Yaqui tribe. There's an investment in our future, and I'm putting some, structure to that program, how we can invest in our children's future and our young adults. And then I also see the opportunity for economic development and how we can reorganize where our investments are currently and put them into our tribal members.
That's 3:30. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so next we have, Gabriel, are you set?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, I had to switch over to my phone. My apologies, everyone.
Okay, let me find your picture really quick.
All right, Los Enchimaniabo, Getchamelea, Inepo Gabriel Vaquerotero. I'm Gabriel Otero. A lot of you guys know me as the Snake. I grew up in Barrio Sabaco and just the west side of town. I started working with KPYT 13 years ago. But before that, I started with Boys and Girls Club at Steve DeRue, and it really built a strong sense of community and a strong sense of opportunity for youth. So at a young age, I was always a big part of my heart. So when I got hired, after I went to Pima College, I got hired with KPYT, and I used KPYT as a platform to produce a lot of programs for our youth. Some of them are, we had a youth talent show. You're probably familiar with the Pascua Yaqui Festival of the Arts. That was more focused on the artists where youth could perform. I did like a show where the kids performed at Ritchie as well. So I always focused on that area, and I feel like that's kind of my calling. God has called me to be a representative for our youth. I have lots of other great ideas, but I want to stay focused on that primarily through this election. But another thing is communication. I'm also on the chair for Native Public Media. It's a national Native network that involves Native radio stations, and we're just communicating. Is that time? We just keep communication. So I feel like that is a very, very strong thing, is our tribe needs to communicate with our tribal members in all of our communities and keep that network going. And so that's very important as well. But a lot of my focus is the arts, is the youth, and building opportunity. I believe that they need to, we have job training, but we need job trainings in different career paths. Not everyone wants to be a blackjack dealer or get their CDL license. There's other careers such as being a sound engineer or a journalist. So we got to create those type of opportunities. That's one thing I believe in. The more opportunities are out there, the more you're ready for higher education. So that's kind of where I stand. I want to develop more in youth development. All our departments do a great job. And over the years, I have worked with all of our departments, from social services, center, spirit program, Seba USM, our education. Because when you say youth, you got to cover all those grounds. You're talking about mental health, you're talking about dropout rates, you're talking about a very wide category there of issues. But I don't want to say issues, also success stories. So we gotta recognize those as well. So yeah, my name is Gabriel the Snake Otero, and I'm happy to be here. And everybody who is on this panel, God bless you guys. Obviously, you have the heart to serve our people. So take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Juan Urbalejo.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Hi, my name is Juan Vallejo. I am a community member for New Pascua. However, my background comes from born and raised in Barrio Libre. At the age of 10, we moved out here to New Pascua, in the community. So I've attended Pueblo High School where I graduated in 1998, and attended Pima Community College where I received a associate's degree for business administration. So real quick for me, my platform is going to be three things: financial, economic growth. For financial, I believe that the tribe supports its members by needs to be financially stable and able to acquire additional funding resources outside of gaming. By expanding our grants and contract office, working with other funding sources such as private entities outside of Arizona, we'll be able to develop business to generate revenue. Right now, the biggest thing right now is that our COVID-19 epidemic is going on to where the casinos right now is temporarily closed. It's because of safety of our community members, safety of the public. So there's no money being generated at this time. So that's one of my main platforms, being financially stable, to find other resources, because my main priority right now that we have is our gaming sources. So again, that's one of my main platforms. The other one would be economics. Again, I believe that responsible spending will increase the amount of services we can provide to our members. That means our members on the reservation and off the reservation. I know that's the biggest concerns for members in the Guadalupe area, in the Old Pascua, Marana, the little pueblitos as far as Eloy, Pejamo, Hightown. We have members outside of that as well, outside Arizona, California, Yuma, those places out there that are requesting services or any kind of information. Again, getting that financial growth economic growth to happen. Again, this by making these proposal programs, we can access those services out to those communities in the surrounding areas to give everybody an opportunity. Because again, every child member deserves an opportunity out there to get these services one way or the other. Also, by economic growth, I also mean opening businesses like shopping malls, convention centers, to create those funds, for us to generate those funds as well. And my last thing would be growth. Again, when you have financial responsibility, economic, and then growth would happen, because again, once those things are in place, growth is going to come. That's how we are going to be able to expand all the services that we have for our members, from education to health to each and every department out there that we utilize. And then again, what that means, providing.
Thank you, Juan. That's time. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have a few down the list: Francisco Valencia, Jesse Valencia, Joe Valencia, Robert Valencia, Rogelio Valencia, Bridget Bravo Valenzuela.
Here.
Hello.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to present myself, my ideas, and what my particular skill set is, up for, just to be out there. And I want to say thank you to all the organizers, all the participants, and everybody that's watching online, social media, all the different circles from all over the lower 48, and if not elsewhere. But my name is Bridget Valenzuela. I come from the Guadalupe community, and I was raised there, but don't necessarily live there all the time. And I'm looking forward to going back very, very soon. But there's a couple of things that I have a big interest in. I could say for 5 particular things that I'm very interested in no particular order, but they all kind of mesh together. And before I do get into that, I do want to say that I was raised in the Guadalupe community, and I kind of have a dual background in terms of my last name. Depending on how you know me, if you are from the community and you knew me at school, I went by Bridget Bravo. In my professional life, it seems like as soon as I turned 18, I went with the legal name of Valenzuela. My Papa Brigido was in a, he passed away when I was 3 months old. So it's been a point of where I've pretty much grown up under his shadow. Only surviving child from him and my mom, Mary Helen Bravo. So he was a very big influence, even though he was not in my life daily in terms of interacting with me. But there's a lot of things that I think that, I share with him, and being of service and being genuine and being honest are some of those things. My community, my culture, that's one of the things that I'm very interested in fortifying, enhancing elder programs within the community and using elder programs within the social services to tie into prevention. The language programs, I'm a big advocate of understanding to know how to be able to communicate in our mother tongue. My Papa Brigido was trilingual, and I'm not nearly as proficient as he was, but I do understand, and I'm very eager to learn. I've taken a few courses here and there that have been offered, but economic development and commerce, building on what we have now, but also expanding.
Thank you, Bridget. We're at that 3 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
3
That was
o'clock.
quick.
We're at that 3-minute warning.
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Next, we
Yeah.
have, let's see, Joseph Valenzuela, Luis David Valenzuela, Richard Varela, Sergio Varela, oh, there we go. Hello.
Sergio Varela is present.
Thank you.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go for it.
All right. Well, first of all, yo soy nuevo, pueblo Achalin, pueblo Malam, Angelito, yo renme así me yo tastea, Inepo, Sergio Varela, tia. I hope and pray this forum finds you and your family in good health and spirit. To other candidates, the people watching this, the people that are going to watch this, I hope that everyone's safe and, good, well spirit. I want to thank the organizers for this. This is one way we can communicate, and that's great. One way we can talk about ourselves and what we stand for. So thank you for putting this together, and I just hope everyone is in good health and good spirit. Like I said, my platform is simple. To share your voice. I was born here in Tucson, Arizona, born in Old Pascua. Raised in Old Pascua. My mother is Paulino Ochoa, father Alejandro Ochoa Corrales. I'm a descendant of Pancho Ochoa, Francisco Pancho Ochoa, Maria Frias Ochoa, Plácido Corrales Varela, Inés Corrales Varela. We grew up here in Old Pascua community. I just wanted to introduce myself today and talk a little bit about myself and also what I'm looking for. I believe in our culture, our language. Without that, our identity is lost. As you all know, there ain't a lot of fluent speakers, and each day, in the years to come, we got elders that pass, and with that, another story, another history is lost. So one of my areas of focus that I'm looking at is language and culture. The language and cultural department, they do a good job, but we need to support them more. We all need to be advocates in making sure our identity doesn't diminish. That's one of the things that I feel dear and that I want to push. Also, the education. We do education. We I don't want to. The education department does good, but we can do better. We can do more programs. We can create more programs. We can help.
Thank you. That's going to be time, but thank you.
No, sorry about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I think that might be it, but the rest of the candidates on the list are Herman Vargas, Josephine Vasquez Irigoyen, Peter Cruz Yucupicio, and Peter S. Yucupicio. Are there any other candidates who came in later who we missed going down the list? I'm looking down and I don't really see it. I don't think I see any. So thank you all for being with us today. I really hope everybody on Facebook was able to get a good idea of everybody here. So our next, let's see, our next forum will be on Monday, May 4th. That will be the more in-depth Q&A session. We'll be going over questions that we have from the Facebook that you put in comments on various platforms. And then also we're gonna have 15 candidates at a time, so it'll give more people a chance to speak and present their ideas in response to some of these questions. So that'll be Monday, May 4th from 6 to 7:30. So if the candidates could keep their eyes open on their Facebook messages, or if there are people that you notice weren't here today, different candidates, just let them know, remind them that we're trying to get in touch with them. The past 2 days, we have a team of 8 students. We've been like detectives trying to find everybody and contact everybody. So if you notice people who aren't here, just let them know. If you could, that would be really awesome. And so with that, I don't know, Alex, did you want to add anything else?
I would just like to thank the group of students that really helped put tonight's forum together. It was a lot of planning. The technology it's a new platform. I mean, for the candidates, this is their first time using Zoom. Honestly, I really started using Zoom heavily like a month ago. So this is totally brand new. Due to the COVID events, we're really being flexible. We're kind of going with the punches now. So thank you all for just being flexible on this brand new platform. Honestly, I'm very glad that we had as much candidates as we did, because at first it was we didn't really know how it was going to look. But I showed that we had 21 candidates tonight. So thank you very much for taking your time out of your evening. You're probably hungry. It's probably dinner time for you. So
I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
So who are the students that are putting this together?
Good question. So it's myself and Amanda Urbina.
Mm-hmm.
And my phone just died, so I can't look up the list, but
Lydia Jennings, Anissa and Alex McKenna, Catalina, oh, sorry, let me get your last name, Catalina Flores, I think. And one moment. Catalina Flores, Irene Alvarez, and Marcos Moreno.
Okay. And then my
13.
second, okay, thank you. And they're all tribal citizens, enrolled tribal citizens?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm
my
sorry,
oh, go ahead.
I forgot to mention Tony Viola, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. And my third question is for Alejandro. So are you no longer a candidate for council?
That's right. Because of due to some technicalities with the signatures, I am you, but that's basically what that was a barrier to me running. Honestly, it happened. It boiled down to the address that matched my ID and
I
the
didn't
address
notice
on the
that your name
paperwork.
wasn't on the list, so I apologize. Yeah, I didn't notice it wasn't on the list.
Yeah. No, good question. Yeah, I mean, it was a learning experience, but I'm really happy to be involved in another capacity, which is supporting, the candidates and the student groups. So I'm good.
I'm glad you're helping out in this role. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
And all the
It's been
students.
fun.
And all the students. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
I
you, guys.
have a question. I have one more question or a recommendation. Since we're going to be using this as a platform, Yaqui, the Yaqui News, I had inquired of the administrator to see if the candidates could load up their information on here. So that anybody that's plugging into the Yaqui News page can take a look at the candidates platform and then maybe engage regarding the questions they may have at those forums.
Thank you. I know that we were trying to, since this is our first go at the whole forum, I definitely took in a lot of notes on what could be better. But the idea was to really, if you made a website or if you have platforms online, to really pin it in the comments. That way it doesn't move and it's always at the top of the comment page. So it's important to us for the viewers to know what you stand for and what your focus is. So but yes, we're working on it. Anybody else have any feedback or questions about the future of this?
You can always send questions to us later too. So if anything pops in your mind, just go ahead and send us a question and we'll be reaching out to you all. So thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Be safe.
Yeah, thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Right.